Hi everybody, it's Peter Zellum, Screening Fix Adventure 8. Welcome to another video. Today's video it's actually a follow-up video. It's a part 2 video with my D500, what to do with it. Still comparing it to my ZF, the 100 to 400 lens. Yeah, so part 2. Let's see how these two combos compare. So lens camera combo, they have some pros and cons with these different combos, but they are similar, and we'll see how they perform in a typical environment when I'm shooting telephotos. I've got some birds around the place, I've got some distant activity going on as well, and we'll be able to compare these two lenses and camera combos. Let's have a chat about these two camera combos. Oh, just a quick note, while you're watching this video, I'm not sure whether you knew, but I'm associated with a number of companies, and those companies can provide discounts to my viewers and subscribers. So all you need to do is go to adventure8.com.au, just click on the website. Yes, just go shop discounts and you find all the different companies that I'm associated with. So for example, SwiftX, so you can set up a crypto exchange and get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. iTech World for camping, lithium batteries, backup systems for your home. Red Tiger for dash cams, Vamos electric bikes, and all sorts of different discount levels are available, and there are discount codes associated with each one of those, whether it be Adventure 8 or something else. So just go to the website. I hope you can take advantage of the discounts, and back to the video. The D500 has been one of my favourite cameras in the past, and also my 70 to 200 f2.8 lens has also been a favourite. Let's talk about the reasons why. At the time when the D500 came out, it had a focusing system, and one of the functions was 3D, which basically would track movement within the frame and would keep that your moving subject in focus. And that was quite an advance at the time, and that still works really well right now. So now the obvious thing with the D500 is it's a DX sensor, which means it's about half the area of a full frame sensor. So you actually have to multiply the focal length by 1.5 to get the equivalent focal length in full frame. So the 70 to 200 zoom is equivalent to 105 to 300 millimeter focal length. And as far as the aperture is concerned, it's still 2.8, but the depth of field is equivalent to about f4 in full frame mode. Yeah, so the ergonomics of the D500 is fantastic, without a doubt. It just fits my hand like a glove, so it's really easy to handle. Being a DSLR, it means that you're looking through the lens. Being a fast lens, you get a really bright viewfinder, and you know what you see is what you get through the lens as far as the digital image is concerned, but while you're taking it, you're actually seeing everything happening in real life. You're not looking at an electronic viewfinder. Well, it's robust. It's as tough as it gets. And also this lens, the 70-200, I guess the good thing about it is, particularly in extreme conditions, is all the moving parts are inside. So it doesn't matter whether you have it on 70 or 200. All the elements are moving inside, and therefore it's pretty much weatherproof in most situations. All right, so that's the D500. The other combo is also a wonderful combo, the ZF with the 100-400 lens. Yes, it also has a 3D focusing system, but the advantage of the new Z cameras and the ZF is it has eye detect for animals and for people and things. So it can track motion as well as get the focus on the eye. So it'll be interesting to see how accurate I was in my focusing with all the birds back at the fish markets between the two cameras. But you'll see that if you haven't already seen it. Now I do have the Z9, which would be interesting to compare also, because if I used the Z9 in DX mode, then that would be equivalent to about 20 megapixel, which is the same as the D500, which is 20 megapixel. This is full frame, 24 megapixels, so we're not comparing apples for apples, but I wanted to compare these two combos. What sort of results? At the end of the day, it's the results that counts. It doesn't really matter how many megapixels it has, or whether it's DX or full frame. If you're getting the depth of field you want, you're getting the focus accuracy that you want, you've been able to get the composition, being able to shoot the combo in the environment that you want. So it could be extreme conditions, rain and low temperatures, whatever. And reliability is the other key aspect. But I guess I'm finding both the Z as well as the old F-mount Nikon cameras to be super reliable, so I don't have any problems with that. Both combos weigh about the same. This combo, the D500 with the 70-200, is a little bit heavier. I think it comes in about 2.5 kilograms, and this is about 100 grams lighter. Otherwise, you know, as far as size and shape is concerned, they're similar. 2.5 Ks both sides, good exercise. Let's go back to the studio, let's go have a look at the photographs, and we can probably see what's the results we've got. So I've already done some edits. Actually, these are the raw files that have just been converted into JPEG file. So they're all the same size as far as megapixel is concerned, 6000 by 4000, so around 24 megapixel, and just easier to compare that way. The photographs that you've already seen were edited and color change, contrast, whatever, cropped further so that you get a good image. But these are the ones prior to that extra cropping and editing. Trying to test out the dynamic focusing, the 3D tracking of the birds and wildlife. So this gives an indication of how my framing was and whether I actually was able to track the bird in flight. And I think I've done a reasonably good job of keeping the subject somewhere near the center of the frame, even though with the electronic viewfinder, as you're panning, if you're panning quite quickly, the image of the bird in the viewfinder, electronic viewfinder, sort of flickers, or doesn't flicker, it sort of moves about erratically, how quickly the electronic viewfinder reacts. I don't have that problem with the Z9 because I think it's much faster, but with the ZF it seems to be a bit slower. So the experience of panning I think was much better with the D500 being an optical viewfinder. But yeah, so this is the ZF, and you know, all in all, it was that, you know, once the subject or the bird got really close to me, zoomed right in. Obviously, I lacked enough frame to be able to capture it, but not too bad. I did try to get. I remember taking this shot here and trying to. With this shot, I did notice the pelican, but I didn't notice that there was a crow chasing it. So if I would have noticed it during the shot, because again I was panning quite quickly, I might have reframed this. So it's not the camera's fault, it's my fault as the photographer. If we have a look at the D500, and you can see that there also I've zoomed in quite close to the subject and I've been able to pan reasonably well. These seagulls were sort of flicking and all over the place and changing direction quite rapidly, so it was sometimes a bit difficult to get them. So I don't think my panning was any better or worse. I think it was just I took less shots, otherwise I would have had more to show with the D500 as well. So conclusion, as far as panning is concerned, as far as getting the focus, I think it was probably much the same in both cases, the ZF as well as the D500. We can have a look at the detail of both the images, and so the ZF on the left here and the D500 on the right. So as you would expect, we've got a bit more detail with the ZF because we've got a larger sensor, we've got a longer telephoto, so I've had to crop the D500 more to get the same image with the choice of lens. But long and short of it, the D500 combo still does an outstanding job. So, it's not really fair, but if you didn't, that's zooming in at 100%. So yes, you do see a difference between the two combinations there. Let's see how it looks with other combinations. Alright, so we've got the D500 on the right, the ZF on the left. And we'll have a look at the sign up here. And you can see how the D500 with that 70-200mm lens does an outstanding job and presents a beautiful image, much the same as the ZF with the longer reach lens. Again, if you were presenting this image in any format that's electronic, you wouldn't have no idea which camera was used to produce this image because it's pretty much identical. So here we've got the ZF on the left and on the D500 on the right here. And I think I've got the focus much better on the D500 than I did on the ZF here. You can see it's the eye is slightly out of focus. It just goes to show how well the 3D focusing tracking works on the D500 to be able to nail the focus of the seagull in flight. And you can see all the detail and the feathers and everything. So D500, that's incredible. So the ZF on the left and the D500 on the right. And we'll just zoom in. Needless to say, the ZF has got lots of detail there, as you would expect. But so has the D500 with the 70-200mm lens. This is at 100%. The bokeh or the out of focus area in the background is similar, I think. I was expecting a bit more bokeh in with the D500 being a 2.8 lens on with the 70-200. So after taking the cropping factor into consideration, the depth of field should have been around the f4 mark. The Z lens here, the 100 to 400 at 400mm would be at 5.6. But anyway, the bokeh, the out of focus area is very similar in both cases. And the detail and the feathers both are wonderful. Yeah, so that's at 2.8 for the D500. A great image. And the ZF on the left here. Well, with these two camera combos of lenses and cameras, honestly, I could take either one of them on any assignment and come back with fantastic shots. you know, a 2.8 lens is a much faster lens, so that we can use faster shutter speeds than we can on the Z lens. That is the main advantage of the D500 with the 70 to 200mm lens. So again, depending on your situation, you know, you would choose one camera over the other depending on the situation, but if you're talking generally speaking, both cameras do an outstanding job. So coming back to my original question on part 1, now part 2, you know, do I sell the D500? And I think the answer is no. Keep the D500. Keep the 70 to 200mm lens. Keep my F mount system, and keep on upgrading my Z mount system with new Z lenses as they come out, because you know, new technology comes along and it's fantastic. It's incredible some of the stuff that's coming along, and if you've got the budget, it's great being able to purchase it. But as always, I have trouble getting rid of my old gear, because I loved the gear when I bought it new, and just because it gets older, it doesn't mean my appreciation for that gear doesn't diminish with time. It's still fantastic. That's why I still keep my old manual F-mount lenses as well from Nikon. Another key factor that comes into you know, choosing between these two combos is price. If you've got the D500 already, and we've got a whole bunch of background noise. Sorry about the background noise. There's always background noise in the city. Travels far, far, far in these harbour locations. You can pick up the D500 and the 70 to 200 zoom here at quite a reasonable price. I have some pricing examples here, and then obviously this is all new, and therefore you have to pay new price or close to new price even second hand. So you know, if you're comparing prices and you're comparing results, well, we know which combination would you go for. I guess the point is that if you've already got this combination of the D500 and the 70 to 200 lens, that is a fantastic combination. I presume the results were fantastic too. I do have a Z9 now with the ZF. It means I've got a small camera, Z camera. If I'm going on a trip, bit of adventure, which one do I take? I don't know. Whichever one that comes to hand, I suppose. But which would you take? Which combination do you like? Do you like the mirrorless type setup where you're looking at an electronic viewfinder, or do you like actually seeing through the lens and seeing with your eye actually what's happening? Let me know. Comment. If you liked the video, found it entertaining and informative, give it a thumbs up. That's how you support the video. If it's the first time to my channel and you haven't already subscribed, then do subscribe. Press the bell, you'll be notified when the next video is out. Thanks again for watching. Two great combos, camera combos. There you go. Cheers, thanks. See you on the next video. Bye.